The three of us in our group were all fairly new to the process. One of us had been around a longer time, but was still getting started in terms of expanding the system. So we're all quite keen on learning more about expanding your system of policies and how to best utilize loans.
Okay, thank you, Peter. If I may, Rich, for those of you who don't know Peter, let me tell you, this is one smart guy. He is not only a chartered accountant by trade, but also a Profit First certified professional who assists entrepreneurs with turning their businesses from a cash-eating monster into a profit-generating machine. And he is incredible. You're going to be hearing more from Peter this year and in the years to come. He's going to bring a lot of great value to our community, and we're very grateful to have him here. Thank you so much, Peter. And
you're welcome. It's our version of that T-shirt, Jayson, for Profit First Language. You probably know the slogan. It's that revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash is king.
What I like about it so far is that it's given me a level of financial independence because I went into the company that has my policy. And I noticed that there is there are three figures there. There's some money that I think I can access right now if I wanted to use it. And then there's the debt benefits. And then there was another amount, I don't know what that was. But, if I put money in the bank, then they charge me a service fee. And then they claim that they'll give me an interest. And I get 1 cent. 1 cent with the interest. Like that's an insult. I said, like, where did you guys find this 1 cent? Like, you pick it up outside. I just started less than a year ago, and I have access to this $5,000 that I can take out and use if I want. And I'm just saying, you guys need to be doing more to bring everybody into this program.
I guess what I like about the concept is that it's a closed loop system. Kind of keeps everything within your own controlled loop.
I would have loved to have known about this when my kids were all small. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm in a position now where all my kids are in their 20s, and they range from, PhD types that know it all. And so it's really hard to listen when you can't hear anything. And then the rest of them are like, well, mom moved out when, after first year university, and then did everything on her own and asked for nothing from my parents because there was too many strings attached. So whenever they hear family bank, they immediately think bank of mom. And they're like, Mom, we don't want to rely on you anymore. So let us deal with this. And so they're making decisions like going to a bank to get loans, blah, blah, blah. But, they're being independent. So I understand it. Like, they're trying to be good, responsible adults. But at the same time, I'm like, dudes, really? You got to just listen. So I got to restructure things. And that's one dynamic. But the other thing is, for me personally, because I've only been doing this for a very, very short amount of time, and there's still a lot for me to listen to and learn, I want to create a baseline that's healthy, that's strategic, that fits someone for my genre. Because, man, if I had young kids, I'd be all over this, like, whatever. I don't have that situation. So I need the slightly older kids situation so I can do a similar thing. And it would be literally just me and my significant other who might actually be too old for insurance because he's like 68 this year. Sarblo, that's the challenge I'm giving to you guys. I know that you can help me build something. I'm in a position now where I owe nothing, absolutely nothing. And that includes the debt my ex-husband left me. So, and I do have some money which I need to make the most of. So I'm looking forward to working with yourself, Sarblo, and your team to help to figure out what does that look like so I can build that element of calm. Because really my goal in life is just to have ease. Well, a big chunk of that is, healthy cash flow to be able to cover the bills and do what I can to continue to help the community.
I have to share this with everyone. I've been doing infinite banking for 5 years now. I was lucky. 5 years ago, I came across a man named Jayson Lowe, and it completely changed my life because my mom and I both have our own versions of stories of financial experts that completely screwed us over. Maybe some people on this call can relate, maybe, right? And we live in a world that's full of uncertainty and scarcity and fear. And for as long as I can remember, I've been a money geek. I have the Purple Library at home, the Robert Kiyosaki books. I've listened to all the podcasts. I've flown across the country to attend an event in another city, blah, blah, blah. Been there, done that. And a few years ago, my mom asked me to join her in a meeting at a major Canadian bank, RBC. Mom was feeling pretty nervous about the conversation. And she probably has no idea that I was going to share this story, but hey, too bad, so sad. It's nothing terrible, but I will remember this until the day I die, because at the end of the meeting, this professional banker asked if there was any last comments or questions. And I said, and this was about 3 years ago. So this is before COVID. This is at the end of the longest bull market that we've ever experienced. And my question to her was simple. I said, what is going to happen to my mom's wealth if and when the market corrects and this bull market will inevitably come to an end and there's some kind of systemic crash? And this was before the crazy inflation. This is before COVID. This is before all of this stuff. Looking back, it's not like I had a crystal ball. We just know that there's a winter coming. There's always going to be a storm coming. Doesn't matter, right? It's always coming. And I'll never forget her response. One of the big 5 Canadian banks, I don't know, maybe the biggest, the second biggest. I'm not sure where RBC falls. And I'll never forget this. Her response was, RBC has some pretty smart people working for the bank, and your mom's in a safe place. And I remember going home, and I just looked at my mom and I was like, Mom, we cannot trust these people. And now I look brilliant. Now I look really, really smart now, don't I? 2020 being hindsight being 2020, because I have my wealth creation, my financial control is all tied up with multiple life insurance policies set up by Jayson and team at Ascendant Financial. And I have peace of mind that I'm wealthier today than I was yesterday. I have peace of mind knowing that my wealth will be greater tomorrow than it was today. Everything is private. I'm a divorced man. Putting my hand up here. I'm a divorced man. Pretty powerful. It's pretty awesome having your wealth tied into a private situation and you don't know what kind of curveballs life is going to throw at you. So for anyone who's on this call, I know you're here because you're a client, and congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. You made a really great decision. And if there's any loved ones in your life, fellow Canadians, that are not on this call because they're not clients of Ascendant Financial, get off your butt and do an introduction. They will end up like just bowing in front of you and thanking you for the introduction. I met Jayson 5 years ago, and I wish I met him 5 years earlier. He's been doing this for 14 years and longer than anyone else in Canada, or one of the 2 or 3 people that have been doing it the longest in Canada. So reach out to your loved ones and get the introductions in place. Listen to the podcast, go to the YouTube channel, go to the portal, consume, learn. I'm here, even though I've been doing it for 5 years. I'm still here because there's no such thing as arriving at knowledge. There's always something more to learn.
Really just want to know, we're coming into a couple of windfalls. I've already booked my appointment with Sarblo. We're buying a house. We're super excited about it. It's over $1 million. We're going to keep it until we can't walk upstairs anymore. So probably into our 70s or 80s. We want to put more money down onto the house to bring it down to a payment that we're used to. And I want to run it through the program. We're wondering about how to do more policies and this kind of stuff. And we're really pumped about it. I want to learn to really distill what I'm trying to say down to something really quick and digestible. I want to learn about the more advanced stuff to implement into my business, I have 2 kids, and a wife. I want to be able to implement as much as possible. I've got lots of questions, and I think Sarblo will be able to answer most of it. I'm really excited. I'm glad I came to the meeting today, reinforced how I should be having more meetings with this guy. And I need to be in front of him probably every week with a coffee and being like, hey, we just made some more money, or we got a windfall, or the kid's older, or the oldest one wants a car now. We don't have a policy big enough. So yeah, thanks for having this. I had no idea what I was going to get out of coming. So I'm really glad I did.